The newspapers are here today in their numbers. We're going to go straight into them. Okay, I grabbed the Ghanaian Times first. Oh, I mean, this is in no particular order, but the Ghanaian Times is here closest to me, and so I'll start with the Ghanaian Times. Front page says, Government Accountability Series. Interior Minister takes turn today. So the government has announced that it will be embarking on an accountability series. We understand there will be, I think, 3 sessions per week. And so the Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, will take the first stand, and he's going to give account of his ministry, what has been going on in that ministry the past 7 months since the NDC administration has been in power. And so be on the lookout for that. We'll bring you that press briefing, or if I can call it that, here on ChannelOne TV. All right. President directs 2 ministers to address unapproved port charges. President directs 2 ministers to address unapproved port charges. Obeng secures historic victory for NDC in Ablekuma North. That's Arabna Obeng, MP-elect for Ablekuma North. That's the report from the Ghanaian Times regarding that election. Don't sideline me. Kufuor slams party's lack of engagement. It's okay. Don't sideline me. Kufuor slams party's lack of engagement. And then when you go to the back page, Tourism 2024 report launched in Accra. The Tourism 2024 report launched in Accra. And then MEDA partners IFC to boost agribusiness in Ghana. MEDA partners IFC to boost agribusiness in Ghana. Now, I'll take you to the Daily Graphic. Front page of the Daily Graphic says, presidential jet grounded, air travel worthiness uncertain. Presidential jet grounded, air travel worthiness uncertain. Ablekuma North violence, tame electoral vigilantism, experts advocate. Ablekuma North violence, tame electoral vigilantism, experts advocate. Affordability barrier to chronic disease treatment. That's a study conducted by the National Health Insurance Authority, which says affordability is a barrier to chronic disease treatment. New visa policy not about length of stay. That's a clarification by the U.S. Embassy. New visa policy not about length of stay, attributed to the U.S. Embassy. EY Ghana renews commitment to support businesses. EY Ghana renews commitment to support businesses. Then when you go to the back page, you have Prudential Bank ready to support 24-hour economy policy. That's attributed to the executive head of the bank. Prudential Bank ready to support 24-hour economy policy. And then you have extend investments to private universities. EUCHS founder appeals to government. Extend investments to private universities. EUCHS founder appeals to government. EUCHS is the Entrance University College of Health Sciences. Okay, that's the Daily Graphic. Let's get to the Chronicle. What's the Chronicle saying? Chronicle says, oh, and it's a question actually. Who is behind illegal anti-galamsey tax force? Concerned small-scale miners drop some names. Who is behind illegal anti-galamsey tax force? Concerned small-scale miners drop some names. NDC secures 2/3 majority in Parliament. NDC secures 2/3 majority in Parliament. Bawumia calls for probe into Ablekuma North violence. Bawumia calls for probe into Ablekuma North violence. Then when you go to the top right-hand corner, it says, ex-TESCON member rejects NPP's top-bottom tyranny. Okay, top-bottom tyranny in inverted commas. That's Isahaku Kotoma, an NPP activist there. Now, the scripture for the day is taken from the book of Proverbs, the chapter number 10, the verse number 9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Proverbs 10:19. May the Lord add his blessings to the reading of his word. And when you go to the back page Lamine Yamal's 18th birthday celebrations. Private concert attended by Barcelona teammates. 300,000. 300,000 euros diamond necklace. Make money, oh. Liverpool boss Arne Slot gives first interview since Diogo Jota's tragic death. And then Messi extends MLS record with double in Miami win. I think the paper went to press early and so doesn't have the Club World Cup, where Chelsea are now champions of the Club World Cup. Absolutely beautiful performance, especially by that young chap, Cole Palmer. Oh, beautiful. 3-0, thrashing PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Quite interesting. And it was a beautiful game to watch. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's go to the Daily Guide newspaper. Front page says, top NDC officials, military officers fingered in illegal Galamsey task force. Top NDC officials, military officers fingered in illegal Galamsey task force. NDC wins Ablekuma North amid mayhem. NDC wins Ablekuma North amid mayhem. And then there's a sad one, former Nigerian President Buhari dead. Former Nigerian President Buhari dead. And also another disturbing story. Boy, 11, shoots girl, 3. So an 11-year-old boy has shot a 3-year-old girl. Some of these stories are just heartbreaking, quite difficult to deal with, but we pray for calm and restraint. Let me take you to the News Center newspaper. News Center says, NDC's history of presidential private jets hypocrisy exposed. NDC's history of presidential private jets hypocrisy exposed. Bawumia visits Ablekuma North victims, pledges support. Bawumia visits Ablekuma North victims, pledges support. Ablekuma violence, a dress rehearsal for 2028. Ablekuma violence, a dress rehearsal for 2028. 4.2 million ounces Black Volta gold project. $13.8 billion potential revenue. There's a question on the front page of the News Center newspaper. And then you have Barbasam to court, void Nane J's illegal order. Barbasam to court, void Nane J's illegal order. And then Asempa FM's Ekosi saying donates 100,000 CDs to renal patients. Asempa FM's Ekosi saying donates 100,000 CDs to renal patients. A few other stories on the back page. MTN SME Accelerate host Women in Business webinar. MTN SME Accelerate host Women in Business seminar. Then you have Agbashi chairs new 9-member CBG board. Agbashi chairs new 9-member CBG board. So that's the News Center newspaper. Let me bring you the Herald newspaper. The Herald newspaper says, NDC chiefs run from national security and military anti-Galamsey extortion ring. Small-scale miners demand presidential action. NDC chiefs run from national security and military anti-Galamsey extortion ring. Small-scale miners demand presidential action. NPP's indecision, mixed messaging, ends in defeat at tensed Ablekuma North rerun. NPP's indecision, mixed messaging, ends in defeat at tensed Ablekuma North rerun. Chief of Staff kicks against localized investment in Ghana. Chief of Staff kicks against localized investment in Ghana. Defense Minister petitioned to remove VAG Executive Director. Land sale and financial irregularities cited. Defense Minister petitioned to remove VAG Executive Director. Land sale and financial irregularities cited. Ghana's aging presidential jet grounded in France has severe corrosion and multiple engine defects. Ghana's aging presidential jet grounded in France has severe corrosion and multiple engine defects. That's the Herald newspaper. Let's go now to the Ghanaian publisher. Front page of the Ghanaian publisher says, Yamin, Abanga behind illegal task force. Miners. This is attributed to the miners. However, the two have rejected the allegations. So the story says, Yamin and Abanga behind illegal task force. That's attributed to the small-scale miners. However, two reject allegations. Minority to Mahama. Act now or bear Ablekuma blood. Minority to Mahama. Act now or bear Ablekuma blood. Baba Sam to High Court. Nullify Nane J's illegally obtained court order. Baba Sam to High Court. Nullify Nane J's illegally obtained court order. Then to the top right-hand corner, Emmanuel rides bicycle from Germany to Accra. Emmanuel rides bicycle from Germany to Accra. All right, the Inquisitor is here. Inquisitor says illegal Galamsey tax force, CSSMG, that's the Concerned Small Scale Miners Association of Ghana, spitfire on Yamin, others, but they deny accusations. CSSMGG spitfire on Yamin, others, but they deny accusations. Ken's extradition processes activated. Ken's extradition processes activated. MIDA IFC partner to boost agribusiness in Ghana. MIDA IFC partner to boost agribusiness in Ghana. Avoid hot water baths. Urologists to men with fertility issues. Avoid hot water baths. Urologists to men with fertility issues. Okay. Let's go to the Custodian. Front page of the Custodian says, Minority demands action on Ablekuma North vandalism. Minority demands action on Ablekuma North vandalism. Act on stranded students abroad. Minority to government. Baumia visits Hawa Kumsen a Kriafiye after assault. And then you have NDC gurus and soldiers cited in alleged Galamsey deals. NDC gurus, soldiers cited in alleged Galamsey deals. Set aside Nane J's illegally obtained court order. Baba Sam pleads with High Court. And you have Michael K. Tete elected NAF president. Michael K. Tete elected NAF president. Quickly to the Informer, which front page says Anti-Galamsey tax force accused of extortion, harassment and intimidation. Anti-Galamsey task force accused of extortion, harassment and intimidation. Ken Oforiata's extradition on course, OSP assures. Ablekuma North rerun, Baumia Peace Council, others condemn violence. Ablekuma North rerun, Baumia Peace Council, others condemn violence. Standard bearer first election, NPP cracks, new party in the offing, National Delegates Conference, Yamutu. Standard bearer first election, NPP cracks, new party in the offing, National Delegates Conference, Yamutu. And then you have monetization of Ghana's politics, public lambast, Minister Oklu. Yep, that's the story carried on the back page of the Informer newspaper, monetization of Ghana's politics, public lambast, Minister Oklu. Let's do some business news now. We're taking it from the Economy Times. Front page says Ghana Central Securities Depository undergoes major upgrade. Ghana Central Securities Depository undergoes major upgrade. New investor portal allows real-time access to investors' portfolio data. Then you have digital assets firms are given August 15 deadline to register with BOG. Digital assets firms are given August 15 deadline to register with BOG. Government to recapitalize ADB by 2026 to support agricultural revolution agenda. Government to recapitalize ADB by 2026 to support agricultural revolution agenda. That's the Economy Times. Let's go online real quick, real snappy. ChannelOneNews.com says no billboards, banners, posters on National Delegates Conference Day. That's attributed to the New Patriotic Party NPP. No billboards, banners, posters on National Delegates Conference Day. Then you have don't use Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election to justify Ablekuma North violence. Akosua Menu to NDC. also on ChannelOneNews.com. I would want to be chief of staff, not president. That's Dennis Miracles Abuaji speaking there. I am being ignored. Kufuor fumes at NPP leadership. I am being ignored. Kufuor fumes at NPP leadership. And then there's the sad one from Nigeria. Former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari dies at 82. Former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari dies at 82. 7 trucks impounded over suspected goods diversion scheme. Then you have 24-hour economy already showing promise, according to the Navrongo MP. Presidency to launch government accountability series on July 14. Ablekuma North, St. Peter's Methodist Church condemns chaos on its premises. Then you have Mahama Zelensky discuss drone deal to tackle Sahel terror threat. Mahama Zelensky discuss drone deal to tackle Sahel terror threat. Then Ablekuma North, election security is police duty, not military. That's attributed to a security analyst. And then you have Mahama appoints George Owusu as acting CEO of National Ambulance Service. Right, that's ChannelOneNews.com. Baumia visit Hawakumsen after Ablekuma North attack and a host of other stories there on ChannelOneNews.com. Let me quickly take you to CityNewsroom.com. CityNewsroom.com. Vehicles impounded by national security did not divert goods. Vehicles impounded by national security did not divert goods. That's according to the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. All right. Dennis Miracles Abuaji was on the Upside Down show on Channel One last night, and he says he never met his father. Quite an interesting conversation. You can catch the repeat later today, but you can also, watch it on YouTube, Channel One TV on YouTube. All right, let's bring you some more stories. Ablekuma North, how Akumsen used pepper spray in self-defense. That's according to Akosia Menu. How Akumsen used pepper spray in self-defense. Again, Ablekuma North rerun chaos, a stain on Ghana's democracy. Again, Akosia Menu speaking there. Fixed network challenges to curb robberies. Police to MTN. You understand that somewhere in the eastern region there's very bad signal, and so victims are unable to call the police for help. The police is asking the telcos to help fix that situation. Now, the former president, or a former president, John Ajekum Kufuor, is here, and he says, quote, I am being sidelined. Kufuor laments neglect by NPP. I am being sidelined. Kufuor laments neglect by NPP. Former Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari dead. Former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari dead. We understand that the President Bola Tinubu has directed that flags fly at half-mast for 7 days, and then the Vice President Shetima has been dispatched to London to accompany the body of the late Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari back to Nigeria. Our condolences to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Baumia visits Hawa Kumsen following assault at Ablekuma North rerun and a host of other stories on citynewsroom.com as well as channelOnenews.com. But you can also go onto the Google Play Store and download the Channel One News app for up-to-date, real-time, current news. Alrighty, this is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Time now for the news review segment. I'll do a quick introduction of my guest this morning, and then we delve straight into the matters. To my immediate right, Ibrahim Ejay, former Assistant Secretary, Office of the former President. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nana Tufo.
Good to have you.
Likewise,
good to have you.
Thank you.
Elvis Dako is here, editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com. Elvis, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you. So let's get straight into it. We're starting off, of course, as everyone would expect, from Ablekuma North. The EC scheduled elections in 19 polling stations within the constituency to bring finality to the matter of this stalemate, if you like. This election was held on Friday, the 11th, and there was so much chaos, so much violence that marred the beauty of the process. Ibrahim, I don't know if you were there. Were you?
No, I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you must have observed the process.
Yeah.
So your initial reactions, because I don't know why in this day and age, where people are expected to go cast their ballots, go back home, allow party agents and the EC do their collation and declare a winner. Yeah. People will still want to engage in violence in the elections. Yeah. And you see, there's the fear that this will probably be a dress rehearsal for 2028.
Sure.
You share the same sentiment?
Of course. I mean, they say coming events cast their shadows. Yeah. And you'd think that we would have improved. By and large, the 2024 elections went off peacefully. I mean, we've got some, is it 50,000 plus polling stations, 56,000 something polling stations. Yes, there were instances where violence happened. You know, I'm talking Ablekuma North in itself in 2024. But what has happened, the failure of the security services, Nana Tufo, last Friday, is a travesty of our democracy. And I say that. It's a total failure. Because anything that was done by the security services was lip service. It was cosmetic, and rather it was counterintuitive. And I say that specifically because there was warning signals. We were on this platform, Elvis, last week with you, Nana Tufo, discussing this very issue about the rerun, and that there had to be security. The police cannot tell me, given the violence that had happened in that very same constituency. Right. You know, you had one, what do you call it, ballot box being burnt, when we were talking about 3 polling stations needed to be collated, just collated. Yeah. And I so much enjoyed what Elvis said last week. You've given a court order. Declare and let the matter rest. And the EC failed to do that. I want to put the EC to a side. They're not on the table on this issue, personally. It's the security services. And within that, government, I mean, the silence of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is deafening. Deafening. And it's something that needs to be addressed. Because clearly, and nobody should try and say there's bias in my submission. Show me those of the NPP who were instigating the wanton violence that happened there. Show me, so that we can also put them in the dock. Clearly NDC activists. And we saw on social media how in the foreground of Jubilee House, Nana Tufo, you had these thugs being mobilized to go to Ablekuma North. It's there. And if you want to say, well, these are, what do you call it? Some had military fatigue. But in this day and age where we can determine who is military and who is, quote unquote, a thug, in terms of that grouping that we saw on social media. You want to be, when I say you, me, I want to be direct but still constructive in the submission that I want to make. The EC, and I think it happens in certain areas, when there is an election, by-election or the main election, we know that where the polling station is. Now, normally everybody can queue, and only when you get to the electoral offices, then you submit your voter's ID card, am I right? So that they can then verify you, then they use that indelible ink on your finger, and you go and vote. What we need to do now, you know, Atiwa is coming. Yeah. Akwatia is coming. If you don't have a voter's ID card, they need to cordon off the area. On average, when you do the maths, how many voters we have in Ghana registered by the number of polling stations? On average, it's around 389 people per polling station. On average, others are more. Say 400 people. And 400 won't come at one go. Yeah. So, you can cordon off the area where you're going to vote. So even before you get to the electoral office in Nana Tufo, present your ID card, your voter's ID card, so we know that you are legitimately meant to be there. So then you can join the queue. All other bystanders, you stand away some 50 meters or 100 meters away. This is what we need now to enact in order to bring sanity to Akwatia and, of course, 2028. Because what the NDC have shown, and I know they'll come back and say, you do me, I do you. We'll get there. What the NDC have shown clearly is that 2028, if we, the MPP, are not ready to meet them boot for boot, and I'm speaking as constructively as I can, but speaking to the reality on the ground, it will be chaos in 2028. And I'm not speaking in a way that I'm somehow prophesizing doom, but I'm open to the reality that we are all seeing.
Right.
And so government and security services, all parties, should understand that if there's no cure, you cannot somehow legislate for how individuals will protect their ballot papers, protect their ballot boxes, and protect their polling stations come 2028. And I believe that if we put in certain measures, this negativity that you're hearing my voice today may not come to pass.
Sure.
Because EC, Electoral Commission, the police service, the army, all other security agencies can make sure that they show us examples of how the elections will be run moving forward. And Akwatia is a nice template for all these agencies that I mentioned to show us that, God willing, astaghfirullah, Ablekuma North was an aberration, was an exception to the rule that we are used to. Because generally Ghana, election-wise, apart from a few hotspots, we are generally peaceful. We are. That's why I mentioned that.
Indeed.
We are. So I don't want to make this flashpoint represent the totality. But we operate in a winner-takes-all system. When you win, you win.
You win.
If you lose, go home. And we want that 2028 is peaceful. I believe, inshallah, that it will be. I believe so. But if you don't prepare for the eventuality that I'm seeing, don't come and say, Ibrahim J, I did not prophesize it. I'm rather warning you, security services. And within that discussion also, all political parties as well, that we need to create an atmosphere of constructive dialogue and relationship amongst us as political parties. When we are on platforms like this, you see how, I mean, inshallah, it'll be here soon. Our NDC compatriot will come, and we all get on so well. Why is it that when we're about to cast our ballot, and suddenly a different character comes out of all of us? But in this case, when I say all of us, who calls them? It's NDC. If it was NPP, I would say it, but this one is clear. NDC thuggery on the loose. If you've been in opposition for 8 years, and you feel that your party, I'm talking NDC, has not done you well during those years, though government gave opportunity to all, and this is how you want to do your revenge tactics, it's not on. And those who have been captured, moving forward, Nana Tufo, those who have been captured on air, live, their records are there, the faces are there. Today, you just put their face inside Facebook, and what do you call it? You know, when the photo recognition, you know, face recognition will show you that this is the person you're looking for. It's there right now. This is not some long story that the police have to do some logoligi to sue you the people are. We also know them, but if nobody is coming.
Why? If they are providing you with that security, is to make sure, in the first place, is to make sure that there is peace, to make sure that nobody attacks you, right? So whilst they are there to provide that security and peace, why should it be the opposite? That there should be fight, there should always be agitation. And they know each other. It's not like they don't know each other. That's where sometimes I don't believe, and I say it is mostly about personal scores that they want. But as a nation, can we always be paying lip service to what happens?
Right.
No, it must get to a point we say enough is enough. We should be able to get to a point to say that where there is by-election, we should not expect people, the top echelon, everybody descending there. It should be left to the constituency. It should be left to them. But once people come in, every day they are coming in, what do we see? You know, I think for us as a nation, where we've gotten in our democracy, we are making retrogression, and it's not good.
All right, Victor, thank you. Let me take a few messages, then I'll go around on what should happen going forward. Okay, this one says, good morning to four. What evidence does Elvis have in the allegations he's making concerning the politicians going behind to punish the police who are mandated by law to perform their duties? these allegations are totally unfounded and have no basis. Well, that's from where you sit. From where he sits, he sees a different thing happening. This one says, violence anywhere, anytime is violence triggered by a misunderstanding. But what happened in Ablekuma North seemed to have no catalyst. It appears some individuals in government bent on retaliation purposely unleashed these thugs on anybody who is MPP at the polling station. These individuals must be fished out. Pascal Dunyo from Afife, you sent that. Good morning. Not to say much, I think the EC as an organization will have to start taking action on issues on election. If possible, they will need a security service of their own purposely for elections, or the state will have to change its constitution, or the Electoral Commission will need to start taking thugs to court themselves. Okay. Good morning, sir. Trust you guys are doing great. Election violence started in 1992 elections by a military unit called 64. The abuse and intimidation then was unbearable. Let's be factual with the analysis. The root cause of all these vigilante groups started during the PNDC era. This is William Amojedu from Pong Katamanso there. All right, Ibrahim, what should happen? How do we stop this? Because elections won't end today.
Sure.
We have future elections coming. So how do we end this?
It's about deterrence. No? It's been mentioned. If criminals are allowed to go scot-free, you embolden them. Why is it that all of us don't go to the bank and steal? Because we know there are consequences.
Right.
So unless we take action for those who we can identify visually on the TV, and if the government won't do something, it's for we, especially the MPP, to take that decision and prosecute those individuals. That's why I gave the warning that you may find that those who perpetrated this will have a private vigilante against them. I'm not wishing for that. It's back and forth. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Who am I to say that following Ayahuasca West Wogon, something didn't happen to certain individuals within the MPP? But unless, if we want to grow this nation, government has to, the justice has to make its name and its voice heard. By making sure that those that we found, at least captured, are duly prosecuted. But Elvis has made mention, 2020, 8 people died. How many have been prosecuted? I remember 2012 elections at the Cantamanto police station. 2 people killed in front of the police station. This is 2012. Up to date, nothing has happened. I'm sure, and the NDC will also give us their litany of examples. And this one, I'm talking in this environment, nobody has clean hands, both NDC and MPP. But in order for us to chart the way forward, this is where we draw the line and say, okay, we're going to take action. If government won't, it's for we, civil society, the MPP party as a whole, has to make sure that we see the law through. And let's find out whether a judge, with this prima facie evidence, will allow certain people to go scot-free.
Right.
And I disagree with what my brother Victor is saying regarding Hawa Kumsun. If you look at the chronology of events, she was not instigating an attack. When they were rushing to her, then she used a pepper spray. 2, there's a lot of women who carry pepper spray or mace with them because of sexual attack, generally. So I think sometimes we have to be careful. If somehow we victimize the victim, that Hawa Kumsun, your intelligence, yes, you can make that point, Victor. Your intelligence should have told you to stay away. But then, where do you draw the line? If you take Hawa Kumsun out of the equation, our Deputy National Youth Organizer, what did he do? Our parliamentary candidate, Nana Kriya Friye, what did she do? What did the EIB journalists do? I saw other footage where a woman was in line. And this thug came out and was just arresting her by the waist. I don't know if he choked her, but she did this like, achumi. I don't know if you saw that one. I mean, and bear in mind, there are many incidences that we have not seen because it was not captured.
Right.
So the way forward, we have to, with a determined effort.
Right.
And this is where we can build a bridge. I'm talking when NDC, I doubt it will happen, but NDC and MPP can say, these are the people, and we support the prosecution and let the courts decide. I doubt that NDC will join us in that litigation, that court action, but the courts must do their job. and bring these people to justice. That's how you deter moving forward. And last 30 seconds, as I said before, on average, we have 41,096 polling stations in Ghana. Divided up by 16 million registered, comes to 390 people per polling station, 400 per in the whole. So we know that this is the polling station. Before you get to the electoral officer and show your card, which is far gone, at the moment you enter, it's cordoned off, a block jeme. Only those with the card can enter. Then all those other actors on whichever political divide are kept far away. I'm speaking to 2028. Right. A quartet can be a template. Cordon off the area. If you don't have the voter ID card for this polling station, I beg, free home, go home, or stay around 100 meters away. At least we can have sanity where people are going to queue and cast their ballot, because there's only 400 people per polling station across the 10 hours of the day. You get people coming in 10 at a time, 2 at a time. That's how we can bring sanity. We cordon off the polling station and allowing only those with a voter ID to come in.
Very well. Elvis, going forward.
There's no going forward. We are just where we are. Until we decide.
CSOs, Peace Council.
Oh, forget about this thing. It doesn't do anything. See,
even the Peace Council.
Oh, Apu. All this already have been there. What? And sometimes, stop. You see, sometimes, I hate it when we pretend in this country.
Even the Peace Council cannot do anything.
Where were they in 2020? Was Peace Council not in existence?
So it's
2024
just,
election.
so
No, when 2024 was Peace Council not in existence.
It was.
Ablekuma North, was it Peace Council in existence?
It was.
So what are you telling me? Why are we not looking at the reality and face it? We want to always please ourselves. We are going to die one day.
So how do we face this reality?
The violence will make Ghana ungovernable for all of us. One day. You have all the money, you have all this, but you can't leave your home. Because the situation has escalated beyond control. This is what it is. We cannot continue to be pretending. Why do we pretend in this country? Peace Council what? Peace Council have been in this country, 8 people have been killed in 2020 election. What happened? 2012, what happened? 2024, what happened? We must tell ourselves that we are failing ourselves. We are going on a path that can lead us to destruction. We must say it. Crime has no expiry date. Let's fish out people and put them there. And jail them, let the court decide that the person is guilty. People maim people. Go and see the Ayala West Gogon guy. Some of them have become persons with disability. Some of them have legs amputated. Who has given them justice? The 8 that died in 2020, who has given them justice? The many people that were macheted in various by-elections in this country, who has given them justice? And you are not giving people justice and you expect peace to prevail. How can there be peace when there's no justice? Where can there be peace when there's no justice? Retribution will continue until we begin to deliver justice. So long as we are not willing to deliver justice, retribution will be the solution. Because if the state cannot protect me, if the state cannot make sure that when somebody offends me, the person gets punished, then we must find a way of defending ourselves. We must find a way of repaying people for what they have done to us. And we are not willing to talk about this. And then you go and talk Peace Council, Peace that, this CSO and all that. We didn't make the law for Peace Council. We made a law that if you do this, it's a criminal offense. Let the law deal with you. Why are we leaving the law aside and then we'll now be pretending and be creating all kinds of organizations as if the law has been made for fun? As long as we are not delivering justice in this country for electoral violence, we cannot stop electoral violence. If somebody is in jail for 10 years for killing somebody and the investigation shows that the person actually killed the person unnecessarily because of election, the person has been jailed for 10 years. If somebody macheted somebody is in jail for 5 years, then somebody will know that there is punishment for doing this nonsense. But I'm telling you that check from 2000 to now, give me 5 cases of people who have caused such mayhem and have been successfully jailed. In Talensi by-election, we saw somebody shooting into the crowd. It was captured on video. Security told us that they can't find the person. Up to today, we don't know who is the person. We can't find the person. What are we talking about in this country? We are pretending and the thing is getting worse, it's getting worse, and we are pretending. We pretended and went to pass a law in 2019, and 2020, 8 people died.
It happened,
And in 2024, we saw all the violence in this country. Police say we have arrested some people. They have been granted bail. That has become the end of the case. And we are not going to face these issues and talk about it. The person said the test, if he has a police friend or no people, they should go and ask them about when they take action against politicians, the kind of punishment that they are giving. The person should talk to the police. Now, anytime, even when they arrest somebody just for reckless driving when it's a politician, should go and find out how the politicians pass back to make sure that those people are punished. If you know, you will not be here. I know any police person listening to me knows that I'm telling the truth. That when they do things, they apply the law to politicians. They get punished for applying the law to politicians. And then we are pretending that we don't know that this happened. But we know that the thing is happening. And we are not taking steps to safeguard the police from political control. So when you say, have an independent police complaints commission that will make sure that people are dealt with, so that when the politicians tell them, go and do so, no, there's a law that if I try, I will be punished. They said no. NDC rejected it, NPP rejected it as all in government. And then we are sitting there pretending like nothing is happening. I'm telling you, look, you will be killed and the police will stay there. They will pretend like they didn't see it. You saw it. When people were being attacked, the police people were running away.
Police actually turned the look in
They were looking elsewhere. Their own barricades were being removed and they were looking elsewhere. And instead of us sitting there and say, this is wrong, let's punish people. You are talking about peace council, civil society, and the community and community. Your community will not solve the problem. Until we deliver justice, there will be retribution. Because if your brother, your family member, your friend or colleague get named because of an election, there's no way you will not want to seek retribution when the state fails to deliver justice on your behalf. There's no way you will not seek retribution. How Akumsin issue came, whatever was done was unjustifiable. But the NDC now shared videos and said, this is their member attacked by High Akumsin's guards, and the guy is dead. They were sharing videos of a guy that was attacked by High Akumsin's guards. According to the NDC, bodyguards, and the guy is now dead. You think if that person is your family, or your party member, your colleague, your schoolmate, your church member, whatever it is, you will not seek retribution for that person. So we should stop the pretense.
Elvis, thank you. Victor, you have the final take on what should happen next to stop some of these things.
I agree that justice must be served.
True.
Because people have been maimed. Look, I remember I was doing this Ayawa, so were to get compensation. We went to national security, the process just stalled, and that was all. You know, and the thing that the pain there. Now, whilst we have not emboldened or empowered the police and the judiciary to take charge of this electoral violence, we will see this continuing. Because at the end of the day, it is the same politicians who come back and say, oh, this is our boy, this is it. Now, beyond that, we've seen it when the MPP tried to go to court, the Delta in Kumasi. What did we see? When they arrested some of their boys, what did we see?
They went into the court.
They went into the court. And so that gives us a pointer that, look, will this be a solution to it? Now, for me, what I think is that, you see, let's give some moratorium. It has happened. We can't cry over spilled milk. Let's bring this vigilantes, let's bring the police. We know the real issue. Now, when they are able to kind of say, oh, I'm sorry, I did this, there's a kind of reconciliation. And we know the problem, we say, we are cleaning the slates. But from this point going on, anybody who crosses the line, this is what has to be done. I think that would be the point where the people who get involved themselves will tell us the flashpoint, things that happen before they go for the by-election, the preparation. The police, they know. So if all of us come together, devoid that, oh, we are sitting on camera and somebody will identify who did this to this person, just devoid of all those, I think that when we sit down, we organize a dialogue as a nation that, look, we have a problem. How do we resolve it? The perpetrators, the participants, everybody who comes will give us an idea about how we solve this. It is not only about passing law. We have the laws, we have beautiful, it is the enforcement. Once people are scared now that we'll have to revenge, I think that when we are able to come together, and it's a kind of national healing conference. It's a healing conference that we have. People come, they see their brother and say, you maimed my brother, but I have forgiven you. Right? When we have such a thing and document it, people will tell you their experience. Why they always believe that they're so bitter, they want to hurt other persons. When I'm sure we have a blueprint, we'll be able to chart a course and say that, look, this is what our parents did. If I know you maimed my father, no matter what happens, I would come back to avenge, right? But I think that we've gotten to a point, if we can get the clerics, for National Peace Council and the rest, look, I'll tell you, the parties, they don't trust them. It's a talk shop. They'll go and speak. But if we get some of this, our clergy, the pastors and the rest, and all the perpetrators, they come in, I'm sure there will be a way forward. And we tell them that, look, yes, for the past sins, go and sin no more. But from this point going, these are the stringent things we are putting in place. And no matter whose us is God, if you exceed the limit, this is what we are going to do to you. I think that is the kind of thing we should be looking at. But to say prosecute, it will be a kind of something to resemble a prosecution. At the end of the day, it does not. Let's empower our people, have something like a dialogue, then we'll be able to see. I'm sure we've had something like those before when Agojo, even before he had his issue, he was explaining that, look, this is a situation. So how do you think we can curb political violence when you have put all the politicians ahead, and at the end of the day, we report to them? I'm sure that we have people, these people are quiet, they don't want to, and it is the vengeance that makes them feel that it is time to back. I think the Akwatia issue they are talking about, it should be a test case that we should have people, that the leaders of this nation should come together and say that, look, no, not even a single person should die just because somebody should become an MP.
Right. Very well. Thank you. This message here says, dear host, while I do not encourage violence in any form or shape, the assault unleashed on Hawa Kumsin was completely avoidable. Good morning. Charles Champon in the Western North region sent that. Gym is for health, not politics. Let's focus on wellness, not violence. Protect our communities, not politicians' interests. Prince from Elembele district, and he says, good morning to Elvis, the most realistic. All right, let's take a break here. Remember, the show is interactive. Send in your thoughts, your comments, your contributions. When we come back, we'll read some more of your messages, and then we'll move to some other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne TV. We're having the news review segment. Victor Adawudu is here. Elvis Darko is also here, as well as Ibrahim J. Let me take a few more of your messages. You can also send in your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. This one says, the hypocrisy in this country is that we tend to ask for accountability when we ourselves are not ready for it. Both NDC and NPP should bring forth these criminals perpetrating violence to be prosecuted. Else, we should just keep quiet and move on. Elvis is very right. The NDC should stop referring to previous violence like what happened in Ayawaso, West Wuogon, and condemn the acts of the thugs. We can't be given rebuttals. Paul Akapanga from Bolgatanga said that in. A lot needs to be changed in our constitution, and the constitution is our problem because the constitution protects the highs and turns blind eyes to the poor, and it's unfair. Mr. Darko, I am with you. Hello, team. I fully support what Elvis is saying. There is no way forward if justice is not served to lawbreakers. We cannot pretend things will just change out of the blue. Isaac from Ashaiman. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. In my humble opinion, the EC should be held responsible for the problems that we are all going through at Ablekuma North at the moment. They have demonstrated pure incompetence in handling the issue. And, okay, in any case, how can scan copies from a particular... Okay, you are going back to the actual dispute itself regarding the pin sheets and all. That's Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm sending us that one in. Okay, so let's move on to some other matters and look at Ghana-US relations and, of course, visa acquisitions and revisions that have been made by the US Embassy. Now, you are going to be given 3 months, single entry. And for some, it is a sovereign country and they choose what to do. For others, they believe that this revision in the visa or the visa that the US gives will more or less take away or destroy or alter the plans of people seeking to live and work in the USA. Victor, let me start with you. This news of visa revisions by the US of A. I believe it's a sovereign country. It's their country, their laws. What's your take on this?
I think when it comes to foreign policy and international relations, you will get to know that there is not always a permanent interest. There is always momentarily they decide what is in their interest. And I think that as a sovereign country that you have said, yes, they have their decision, what they want to do. US always want to behave like the father of all.
The village headmaster.
Yeah, I get it. This is what we want to dictate the pace, especially when they believe that they want something and you are not being amenable to them in that way. But I think that at the end of the day, it is all looking at the immigration. We know with the Trump administration, it is tough on immigration issues. And when you look at it, these are some of the things that they even issued a warning, trying to ban people to travel from Ghana and some countries.
Right.
I think that what they have done is that they are looking at the circumstances and the rest. And it is more about people coming in to stay, immigrants to come and work. And I think this is one of the measures they are thinking that will help them curb the issue of the immigration, the getting immigrants in there. Yes, as Archbishop Duncan Williams said in his prayer, that we want to see a Ghana one day that we will all stay here, work here.
Yeah.
That we will only travel outside the country for vacation, that we will have the kind of needed education. Most people travel here, especially the students, just because to get the education, the technology, and be able to come back home. You know, so some of these restrictions that are being put, it's a way going to help us. I think that whilst we are the receiving end, we should take it as an opportunity. Whilst these disadvantages are, we take it as an opportunity to be able to strengthen our people, make sure that this is a habitable, this place becomes a meaningful place we can live, that we can also make a living. I'm sure that our leaders are looking at all this because it also comes with all other attendant issues.
Yeah.
Because we have our kings and kings all in the US. And what even comes in for us at the end of the day, the FIDs and the rest that comes in, the remittance and the rest.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were even trying to tax the remittances that comes in.
It's a proposal that
it's a proposal on the table that they want to tax the remittances that our people send.
Yes.
After they've gone through this menial job, they have worked hard to bring something back home. So for me, I think that yes, the foreign mission, our foreign affairs and the rest should be able to contact the mission, the diplomacy. It should be a diplomacy that we should be able to have them and see that what will be in for us to, as a win-win situation, mutually benefit for all of us as a country, because we cannot say that we do not need them. We cannot say that we will not go there.
Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly.
And they also need us. They need some of our things. They need our cocoa. They need our gold, our things. That most of the times they want to also use our places as our air base and the rest. So these are things that we should be able to leverage on and says that, look, there's still barter system, the trade-offs. I think that we should be able to push for the benefit of our people.
Right.
Because we have a lot of our people outside there. We have our siblings, others who are there. And we should see the difficulties that they may go through. I'm sure some of this came out of the issues that we had recently, the embassy, the scandal, and the rest. Whilst they feel that there has been some scandal, they now have to zoom on us and make sure that we want to see whether really this is the kind of scam that we had, or it is not of that huge magnitude. So I'm sure that it calls on our diplomats, the career diplomats and others, that they will have to redouble their efforts for the benefit of our people and for the benefit of their country.
Right.
But as you said, they decide what they want to do. But I'm sure that once we are able to forcefully put up our points, put up our case, I'm sure that this revision, we will see it as time goes on.
Very well. There's a story in the Daily Graphic. I just want to read a quote from the Chargé d'Affaires of the U.S. Embassy here in Ghana. The story is titled, New Visa Policy Not About Length of Stay. U.S. Embassy Clarifies. And there's a quote here, and this is from Rolf Olsen. He's the Chargé d'Affaires at the U.S. Embassy. Quote, the 3-month period is how long you have to enter the United States. It's not about how long you have to stay in the United States. And that's a common misperception. Understandably, all these can be quite confusing. So, for example, today is July 9. If you were issued a visa today, it would expire on October 8 or 9, whatever 3 months is, he said. So, Ibrahim, your understanding of this?
Very much, let's understand something. The basis for this change is reciprocity.
Yeah.
Do me, I do you. That's what they say. Yeah. But I learned the release from the Honorable Foreign Minister, Okuchizo Blakwa, that in terms of the U.S., they received 40,000 applications between January and I think May or so. Over 70% of those ones given to U.S. citizens coming to Ghana were multiple entry for 5 years, over 70%. So this do me, I do you does not apply in terms of the reciprocity that the U.S. is saying.
Right.
Then later we heard another release from the U.S. State Department saying that it's not just about, we are matching what you give our citizens in terms of the visas, but also because Ghanaians are overstaying.
Right.
And this is the way, manner in which they can check, those who are coming into the country and against the validity that they're giving. And so people are being encouraged, when I say people, government has been encouraged to give some kind of, education on, as you've just done right now in that piece. Because the F1 visa is the student visa.
Yeah.
Now, the F1 visa normally lasts for the duration of your academic year.
Yeah.
So let's say you're on a 3-year course or 5-year course. That visa is valid for that period. What it's doing now is this: when you leave the country, holiday, visiting family, you have to now reapply. Hopefully you'll get it, but of course it's an additional cost to who? You, the student. Because normally it's multiple, you can travel 100 times until your course finishes. So now anytime you come for holidays, Bologna, or what have you, you have to now reapply.
Yeah.
On the business and tourist, which is the B1 and the B2, you're right. I thank you for letting our viewers on Channel One know. You're given 3-month visas, 3 months to enter.
Yeah.
B1 and B2 visas give you up to 6 months to stay, even though before you can get 5 years. Now you get 3 months to enter, and then 6 months to stay within the country, as it is now. And it's so that American customs officers can really monitor. And a word of caution to those who overstay. Right now, everybody is digitally captured. They know your WhatsApp because they ask for it. Even Facebook posts are now being captured. So when you overstay and they see that you are WhatsApping within America, because it'll ping. It'll triangulate your position and say, this is your IP address and you're in America. So you think you've overstayed, you've gone on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it. They know that you are still in the country. Are you going to say, well, I gave the phone to my niece, I'm actually in Ghana? Those things won't work. So there are digitally innovative ways in which you can be monitored while you're in America. And I would encourage everybody who gets that opportunity, when you go, come back. You will often get your visa approved when they see that you've gone by the law and returned back. But people feel scared. Right. I don't want to go back. But they'll find ways to get you. Now with ICE, immigration service in America, they'll find ways to get you. They're going to where immigrants normally go. Your car wash, restaurants, farms, building sites, where oftentimes it's cash in the hand. But those areas are now being monitored. So that's my caution there. In terms of why it happened, Victor was right. There can be some soft power at play, but it's happened to Nigeria as well. So we're not in a vacuum, whereby what happened with the embassy, and they're looking to maybe make sure that we are more stringent in how we issue passports, that valid citizens are indeed the holders of Ghanaian passports. That may be an area there. Whether or not, and I doubt it, Jim Risch, the senator from Idaho, he made that tweet saying that instead of us paying China, we should pay them. And personally, I enjoyed how Akujeto Ablekuma gave it back to him. Some will say it's not diplomatic. Where Akujeto Ablekuma erred, for me, he said that, look, you owe us for reparations. You just diluted the message. Reparations, I'm talking slavery, has nothing to do with this. Who are you going to pay the reparations to? Understand that Africans were selling Africans during the slave trade. Okay? That's not to somehow dismiss, the barbarity of that and whether nations. On my part, I don't want to go off topic, but what the response to Jim Risch, saying that we're a sovereign country. How dare you tell us who we should pay? Whether there's because Jim Risch sits on the Foreign Affairs Committee for the U.S. and he's the ranking member. So he shapes policy, and we know, Victor was mentioning, Trump is anti-immigrant. You have it in Jim Risch, somebody's anti-China, anti-immigrant. So why won't they say, why are you paying China? Pay us. And given the rebuttal that Akujeto Ablekuma gave, I doubt that's the trigger. But maybe in hindsight, some may want to see that. But because Nigeria is also in the same boat as us, and there's been no diplomatic spat, I don't want to go into that area.
Very well.
But and I land here, it's for Ghanaians. Victor, you said something just now, but Archbishop Duncan said.
Yes.
I want to encourage Ghanaians, Africans in general. We are the generation that can change the conversation and the narrative. This thing about I have to get to Abrochi at all cost. When I was at Sheffield Hallam University, when I was doing my degree course in the UK, I had friends from China. As soon as they finished, they were ready to go back to China. But there were Africans who was like, Charlie, I'm here. How can I settle in? Until and unless, and we're getting there. I'm seeing encouraging signs that we are building our own futures here. And once we continue to do that, indeed, America, as Archbishop Duncan Williams said, will be somewhere you go for holiday and come back.
Very well. Elvis, you think all this is as a result of the overstays?
Oh, you see, diplomatic issues have a lot of undertones. And sometimes they fly issues that this is why we are doing this. But underneath are major demands they are asking your country to give and you don't want to give. And they want to use this to tie your hands. And they make policies that will make the people angry with you, the government. So they will bring in policies that affect the ordinary person, so that the ordinary person can put pressure on the government. But the government too can come out and tell this is what they're asking from us. So then behind the doors, because the people are giving you pressure, you are likely to give in. So most of the time when issues like this are flying in the ones that become public, know that it's an attempt to put pressure on your government to do something that they don't want you, the public, to know. And if you read the WikiLeaks, you know how these governments, powerful countries, have used our governments without us knowing what they do behind the doors. Yes, it's an immigration policy. Truth is that a lot of Ghanaians are overstaying. I gave you the figures here. That is estimated that between 30 to 50,000 Ghanaians are living in the U.S. illegally. There are about 250,000 to 300,000 Ghanaians who live in the U.S. about almost 300,000 Ghanaians who are resident there, including the illegals. And there are about 7,000. As of last year, the number of Ghanaian students, according to the U.S., is about 9,000 who are on student visa schooling in the U.S. In January that Trump came to power, the number of people on ICE list who are Ghanaians to be deported is about 3,288. The issue is that they want to deport these people because it's a political promise. It's something that Americans, they are said that once they say you have done something, you should be deported, they want you to be deported out of the country. That is their position. However, there are international conventions on how to deport people. If you arrest an illegal and the person has no travel document, has no passport, or the passport has expired, you can't deport the person because international law prevents you from deporting the person. You can only deport the person if the person has legitimate travel documents or a passport that is valid. So most of the people they have arrested, unfortunately, either their passport have expired or they don't have one at all.
They're stateless.
Okay. So the issue is that how do you deport them? Now, because America has a very good system, that's why they fight those who cross the border through the bush. Those ones, they don't have any records on them. But for us Ghanaians who go to America, you land at the airport, they take your fingerprints. You wait for the visa, they take your fingerprints. So they have every information about you. So they go to the assistant, they know, this guy traveled to America with a Ghanaian passport. So he's a Ghanaian. Because a passport is to be issued to only citizens of the country.
Yeah.
So then when they go to the assistant, they're able to determine that you are a Ghanaian because you came here with a Ghanaian passport. Then they want Ghana to issue documents to these people to be brought down. And Ghana will say, no, we don't believe these were Ghanaians. So we want to investigate and verify. And then it's back, forth. And as long as Ghana has not issued that document, they can't deport the people. So it has become a burden on America, not only Ghana, all over the country. But I read the Nigerian foreign minister over the weekend saying that Nigeria has too many problems and they are not ready to accept any deportees. So for them, America should forget it. They can do whatever they want. They also retaliate and they will leave it like that. They have too many problems. They can't accept deportees.
But they should send the remittance.
So
That's important.
That's the point. So you realize that this is the issue between Ghana and US. And those people, they were ICE list before Trump came to power. And all they are looking for is for the documentation to deport them. But as a country, we also say, okay, speaking to this person, interviewing this person, the person tonation and everything, even if you ask which part of where the person comes from, what language do you speak, what tribe do you come, the person has no idea. So the person is not a Ghanaian. But the bottom line is we aid because the person traveled on our passport. Our passport system is so weak that the person was able to get a Ghanaian passport and traveled on it. So the America is not our fault to say, I have to deport this person to Ghana because the person traveled to America with Ghanaian passport. Because that's the only thing that shows that this is where the person came from. And as a result, back and forth. So if people are hearing about this, first of all, it's because we are resisting the deportation of those people. So you see, Trump has planned to meet 5 African presidents. I think those countries are the ones who have accepted to allow Trump to deport people to their countries. So he wants to meet them to send a signal that, yeah, these ones are the best countries. I want to say that, you see, we have to strengthen our passport system to make sure that it's only Ghanaians who qualify to get a passport who get it. Because at this point, you can't afford America because if they go to their system, they realize that their person came to a Ghanaian passport. Unfortunately, the passport, even the number they have, the passport has expired. And they can't deport the person. They'll put pressure on you. And that pressure is what is going to make the people angry with you. Now they are reducing everybody's to 3 months. So that Ghanaians will get angry with the government. Because if every 3 months I have to go and pay, If you look at the last report the embassy itself released, in just 2024, they had over 61,000 applications from Ghanaians. Over 61,000. And then they granted 25,000. So over 30-something thousand of the applications were all rejected. But all of them, you pay.
You pay visa fee.
If you calculate the amount for the 61,000, Ghanaians paid like, with an average of just $160 per application. Ghanaians paid over $10 million to the U.S. Embassy last year just for visa applications. So you realize that a lot of people want to go to America for various reasons. So if they are now telling you that every 3 months, even if you are successful with the visa, every 3 months, so long as you exit America, Even if the visa has not expired, you can't come back with it. You have to go and apply for another one to be granted before you come back. See, the process of applying for a visa is a little cumbersome. So that stress that you want to go through will make you angry with government that if it is because of government action, that is why they are restricting it. The government should do the right thing so that that restriction is lifted. Unfortunately, as I said, with the little I've learned and read around, most of these things that they are doing are just like, somebody say comedies. There could be a lot of engagement underground. In fact, sometimes when they want to come to your country to come and make sure that most of their companies get your natural resource with very, very good contracts that benefit their companies. These are some of the ways they will use. So at the end of the day, you have to give up something for them to lift that restriction. So beyond the fact that people are overstaying and then the deportation issue, there could be serious economic discussions underground. And in an era where you are behaving as a country that now you want to control your natural resource, they are mostly coming here for your natural resource. And if they want their companies, more of them to come in, to come and take control of your natural resource, then one of the ways to do this is to put you under such pressure. And then since you want the restrictions to be lifted, you are likely to give in to those underground demands. And then at the end of the day, we will the same people come and shout at the government, why did you give this contract under these generous terms? The pressure that the government had to go through to give those contracts under generous terms, it's crazy. As the senator is fighting Ablekuma, what is he fighting about? He says U.S. companies have come to execute contracts in Ghana. And the government of Ghana owes them plenty money.
About $251 million.
It is affecting the operations of American companies. So they want a government of Ghana to pay the American companies to get money. See, so when I talk about diplomacy, the tea drinking and the wine drinking is not the one receive. The government of America
the core issues are there.
Sitting there. Its interest is in Ghana. It's about how the American companies can come here and make a lot of money. And because they will repatriate the profit back to America. And it helps American economy to be strong. So a lot goes on. And most of the time we blame our government and foreign for not coming up to tell us. Because some of this, they can't say it. When they see it, when they say it, they will increase the punishment. In fact, if government should tell us, besides
the real reason.
The real reason. If the government should let this thing know in the public, I can tell you that they may even say that they have banned Ghana from getting American visa for the next 5 years. Nobody will get it at all. So that public pressure on the government will increase them more. So some of these things, we as Ghanaians, we should not also put too much pressure on government. We should, in a way, also say, okay, government, do what is the interest of Ghanaians. Because if we put too much pressure on the government, the government is likely to say, oh, but my people are complaining. And we know normal elections issues, people may vote against me if they think that I'm the reason why they are not getting American visa and all that. So let me give in to the secret negotiations to please the Ghanaian. We are the people who come out and be complaining that our government sold us out. But you sold us out because you are putting pressure on the government.
But we put pressure on the government to go and agree.
To make you get American visa because that is for you, that is your desire. Going to America is like your life dream. So if it's time for you to go and they say Ghana has been banned, you see demonstrations in this country. Then you see massive demonstrations in this country. Why Ghana government allow America to ban? Understand the diplomacy, especially from these big countries, they bully us a lot. They bully us a lot. So sometimes
thank you so much.
When our government are taking certain positions, even when they affect the general public, we should. Is that only next year?
Thank you so much.
Trouble is coming.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. This has been the news review segment here on Breakfast Daily. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Thank you for watching us. Stay with us, though. There's more ahead on Breakfast Daily.